Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jack, this is Jthbooks. And are you prepared to go on the journey? Because I'm doing my first book prize shortlist reading vlog. So, I am following the Polari prize. Now the Polari prize is a UK based queer book prize. So, it's all perfect for me. They do it in two categories. You have the debut novel, and then you have the book prize. So, you know, second novel, third novel by these authors, any authors. Now, let's be honest, if you've been around here before, you will know that sometimes my vlogs, you know, I struggle to read sort of one or two in quickly. And there's six. There are six on the list. So I'm going to have to knuckle down. I'm going to have to concentrate. I'm going to have to be on it. Any spare moment I have, I will have to read. So my plan was to follow the book prize because it had some great books in it. But the shortlist, I have read most of them. And let's talk about that shortlist first. So we have The Schoolhouse by Sophie Ward. I'm having to use my iPad because I forget what's on it. We have Young Mungo by Douglas Stewart. We have All Down Darkness Wide by Sean Hewitt. We have Fire Island by Jack Bartlett. Here Again Now by Ukachukwu Nzalu. And Our Wives Under Sea by Julia Armfield. Now, I've read all of those, apart from The Schoolhouse. So, now you know. Oh, there's some great books. I love Four. I'm not the biggest fan of Young Mungo. I can see that sort of what literary piece it is, but I wasn't the biggest fan of it. And I have not read The Schoolhouse. So, I'll be honest, I am rooting for Here Again Now. I think that book is underrated, undervalued. But if any of those other three win that I mentioned, it's not Young Mungo, you know, I'm not gonna riot. I'm not. But in the heart, we are going for Here Again Now. So the good news for this prize is I own two already. So, and I'm gonna, well, by the time you're watching this, hopefully you would have answered the poll, but I'm gonna let you pick which one I read first because I can't decide out the two I read first. So on the shortlist we have The Whale Tattoo by John Ransom, and can I put it up there? I'll put it on the screen somewhere so we can still see it. Then we have Rising of the Black Sheep by Livia Kojo Alor. We have None of the Above by Travis Alabanza. A Visible Man by Edward Enninful. Live from the Pink Palace by Jill Nalder. And The New Life by Tom Crew. Now, as you know, this one is a 5-star prediction for me. So, I'll be pleased that I finally am getting to read it. So that is the prize I'm going to be following. I will start with one of these two to see whichever one you vote for. And I'm ordering the rest, you know, as we speak. Well, not right as we speak, but when I finish this. And I will just read them. We'll open them together and we'll see which one I'm reading. What I really like about this prize, it has fiction, non-fiction and poetry all in the same prize. So you're going to get a real array of books to read. And I'm excited. I am nervous because if you've been around here a long time, if you're one of my friends, you will know I fail a lot at a lot of things. So, but I'm determined. October, it's got to pick up for me in the reading month. So, also, I will say, when I start this one, I'm not going to read the back to you because I heard it gives a lot of it away. So I'm not reading it. I don't want you to read it, and we'll see. So, let's start. It is Thursday the 28th. So the shortlist was announced last night. The prize winner will be announced in November. So I have, a month. But I obviously want to get it up by the end of October. So I'm really going to have to crack on. But it's going to be fun. We're going to read some fantastic queer books. I love this prize. You know, I want to support it. So I'm very interested to see what you vote for me to start. And let's get reading some queer books, y'all. Friends, it is October the 3rd. Happy Mean Girls Day. And I've just got one book to finish. Then I'm starting the shortlist. And as you know, I put up a poll to decide which book for me to read first. And it's a tie. It is a tie. There's been 20 votes. It's 10 each. And it is 50%, 50%. I just need to vote so I know what to read tomorrow. I can't. It's a tie. I'm in shock. But it's going to make it interesting, isn't it? So, it was a tie for a long time. It was a tie for a strangely long time, and I was getting a bit worried that, you know, but by one vote, The New Life by Tom Crew has won. So, very excited for this book. It is a 5-star prediction for me. It has been for a long time. The only reason I have not read it is because so many people told me that they didn't like it, that I probably won't like it. So I'm a bit nervous. What a start to the prize, but let's find out what it's about, and then let's just get reading, because I'm so intrigued by this book. I mean, it's got to be good, right? Shortlisted, come on. After a lifetime spent navigating his desires, John Addington, married to Catherine, has met Frank, a working-class printer. Meanwhile, Henry Ellis's wife Edith have fallen in love with Angelica, and Angelica wants Edith all to herself. When in 1894, John and Henry decide to write a revolutionary book together, intended to change convention and the law, they are both caught up in relationships stalked by guilt and shame. Yet, they share a vision of a better world, one that will expand possibilities for men and women everywhere. Their daring book threatens to throw John and Henry and all those around them into danger. How far should they go to win personal freedoms? And how high a price are they willing to pay for a new way of living? I mean, it sounds fantastic, but I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to start reading. Good morning. It's Saturday morning, and I know I said I would check in sort of every halfway, but this book is in parts. So I've just finished part 1. I even brought the book here, and I'm at work, so I'm not reading it today. So that's dedication to this craft. But we are essentially following John and Henry, and John is a gay man married to a woman, but he believes he's sort of very natural. He very much believes in sort of the Greek way of life, like old Greece and Roman times when it was perceived as more natural. And we're also following Henry, who is married to a woman, but they haven't consummated the marriage, anything like that. And they belong to a group called The New Life, which is very progressive, very modern thinking, a bit like essentially how we think these days. And his opinions are very different of the time. And they've just started to exchange letters to talk about sort of working on this book. Now, you know, I love a book with letters in. But I am really, really enjoying this book, really enjoying it. I actually love it. I think what Tom Crew is doing so well, so well, is he's talking about desire in every sense. He's talking about sexual desire. There's a lot of sex in it. A lot of sex. And, but it always seems to sort of have a meaning or, you know, something deeper behind it. Like, John is obviously having sex with this man called Frank, who he's begun an affair with. And Henry is very much interested in the act of sex, in the purposeness behind it. So you get the two different aspects there. But Tom Crew just writes desire so well. Like, he talks about queer desire so well in that sort of the wildness and the freedom to it, but also the restriction to it. And I've never read an author that's done that so well. I absolutely love it. But it's also the desire to just be who you are and be perceived the way you think you are. And like for Henry, his desire, it's almost toxic masculinity he's dealing with, in the sense that because he hasn't consummated marriage, he doesn't quite feel like a man and everything like that. And he just wants to be perceived like that and desired to be seen as normal. But it's so good. I'm absolutely loving it. I don't want to put it down. I love it. It's so good. So what a great start to this. I can see why I made the shortlist. I obviously haven't read the long list, but I can see why I made the shortlist. It's brilliant. I love it. And I've got to go to work. And I just want to read. Like, that's how I know I'm loving it, because the reading hasn't been going great lately, as you know. But all I want to do is read this book. I love it. It's so good. But now, I'm going to work. Let's have a little bit of bacon now, shall we? Let's see if I make anything of interest. And, like I said, the sooner you get in there, the sooner you get home, the sooner you can read your book. So I know I said I'd check up every part, but this is part 2 and 3 because I could not stop reading, because I absolutely am in love with this book. I just think it's brilliant. It's becoming so much more complex. Henry's wife Edith is very much in love with the woman there, you know, and with this Angelica, and Henry accepts it, and you're sort of close to finding out what Henry is himself. He's sort of figuring it out. And John is very intent on his affair with Frank, very intent on getting this book published. sort of at no matter what cost. I'm a bit sort of worried where it's going to go. He has given the book to his wife, and sort of, even though she knew, he's confirmed it, and she was like, you're going to destroy our lives, and she's basically said she's going to leave him. If you want to get to the crux of it, John's gay, Henry's an ally, they want to change the world. But I'm loving it. I love how Tom Cruise is writing this. I love the feeling of, okay, so when I've read historical fiction before, it feels very singular. This feels very collective. You know, they're not all being hated by everyone. They, you know, people are like, yeah, just do what you want. Essentially, you know, just keep it private, do what you want. And it feels like a queer collective in historical fiction, which I really, really love. It doesn't feel so sort of narrow. And I love it. I love it. I'm so excited to start part 4. And I'm going to go do that now. So it's Sunday. It's Sunday today. I'll wrap up tomorrow with this one, and then we'll start the next one. It's Monday. I have finished this book. It's 5 stars. It's 5 stars. I've given it 5 stars. I loved it. I was so in it. I was so into the characters. I just feel like it. So part 4, the book gets published, and it's quite a quiet publication. I'm not going to tell you too much because I don't want to spoil it for you. It's quite a public, you know, it gets 2 reviews, and it's a bit like, when he's done so well, Tom Cruise, building up this momentum, you're like, yeah. But, and also, you know, like, history doesn't change, but I believed it was going to because of this book. I was like, yep, they're going to change the world. They're going to change it. They're going to change it. Everyone's just going to, we're going to, you know, it's not going to be the 1960s when we don't consider to have mental illness, you know. So I was like, but part 4 does bring it down. But the characters get so complex. You see how far they're willing to go. You see who they truly are. I think Tom Cruise's characterization is absolutely fantastic. I think he captures the time really well. And he gave sort of a new attitude of the time. Like all this new life movement and all these queer men sort of knowing about each other and accepting each other and supporting each other. I loved it. And then you read sort of the author's note, and it's a bit of a true story. So I'd very much like to know more about that. But I think this is such a strong start to the prize. I mean, if this wins, I'm not going to be mad. Should I just stop now? No, we've got the other ones to read. But this was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. It'd probably be one of my favourite books of the year. And there's no way I would have got round to this if it wasn't for the prize. Polari prize, you know what you're doing. Thank you so much. So I'm not going to start this one. I believe The New Life and this one are the only fiction books. There's a book of poetry and the rest are non-fiction. So I might save this fiction for last. Starting a fiction, ending a fiction. So 2 have arrived so far. I've ordered all 4. 2 have arrived so far. Which one should we go with? I've covered up my address. In case anybody want to shop at my house. You wouldn't, I know that. This one's too big. Let's go for the little one. I have ordered them all from queer bookstores, I do believe. So let's see what this one is. Imagine if it's not. It's something else I've ordered and it's not for the prize. Oh, from Gaze the Word. I know what this one is. I've been wanting to read this for a long time. Look how they wrap it. This is Gaze the Word. The professionals there. It is None of the Above. Reflections on Life Beyond the Binary by Travis Alabanza. This is already a prize winner. I know that much. I'm very, very excited to read this. I thought it was much bigger than this, but let's find out what it's about. In None of the Above, Travis Alabanza examines 7 phrases people have directed at them as a black, mixed-race, non-binary person. Some are deceptively innocuous, some deliberately loaded or offensive, some celebratory, sentences that have impacted them for better and for worse, sentences that speak to the broader issues raised by a world that insists that gender must be a binary. Through these 7 phrases, Travis Alabanza turns a mirror back on society, giving us reason to question the very framework in which we live and the ways we treat each other. Very excited. Sometimes non-fiction, they even give me a bookmark. Okay? That's why you shop independent queer books. But I'm quite, just non-fiction sometimes takes me a while. So I'm very scared. But I've heard brilliant things. I trust this prize. So I will check up with you. We're just too halfway on this one. I won't be doing this, because it's going to be so long anyway. No one will want to stay and see me that long. Right, I'm going to start this right now. Let's go.
So I said I'd check in at 100 pages, and I'm now 100 pages into None of the Above. And my goodness, it's good. Oh, it is so good. It's really striking the balance between personal to the writer and talking about the bigger issues overall. Oh, it's so good. It's really hard to explain this one because it is personal without ever going into too much detail, but it really talks about the issues gender non-conforming people face and the bias and the attacks and the violence. It's horrible. I hate it. And it also discusses sort of the gender binary and all the problems with it. It's the people who hold on to the gender binary that are the problem. There, I said it. It really talks about the race and gender non-conformity and how it goes hand in hand, and it's so good. It is so good, and it's told in told in 7 parts. And I'll read it's told in 7 parts. So when did you know? But I mean proper trans, ladies, gentlemen, and those lucky enough to transcend gender. This ain't a thing we do around here, son. So what do you want me to call it? Children sacrificed to appease trans lobby. This is for us, baby, not for them. So I'm just loving it. There are sentences here that really make me think and see things in a different way, or made me realise I haven't thought about it before in too much detail. And then there are some sentences that sort of, catch my throat and make me want to have a little bit of a cry. So I'm really loving it. It's so good. I feel like there's 100 pages and I think it's a 214 page book, so I could finish this tonight, and I'm hoping I am. So if I get it finished, I will check in with you tomorrow. But it's a good one, friends. It's a good one. I'm not going to be able to pick a winner. You know me, I'm indecisive at the best of times.
Good morning. It is the next day. I'm very sorry if it's very dark. It's 7:30 in the morning. What can I do? I've tried to figure out the night. I can't. But, it's probably best not to see me that well anyway. It's 7:30. And, but I have finished None of the Above by Travis Alabanza. My goodness, this is exceptional. It's exceptional. It's a personal, it's a detailed look at gender conformity and what it means to ignore it and what it means to forget the gender binary, and how the world would be a much better place if the gender binary was not dictated to us. I've said this many times on this channel. You can come here, you can be who you are. I'll accept you. I love you. If you want to tell me your pronouns in the comments so I get them right, please feel free to tell me. This is it covers so much without ever being too information loaded. It discusses race and the gender binary and how you can't separate the two, and it just specifically talks about what it means to be not a man, not a woman, in the middle, and how that place is seen as by people that don't believe that, believe in the gender binary, that you want to get out of that, but people are comfortable being in there and being who they are, and they absolutely should be. It was so good. I'm actually blown away how good this was. This is going to be a good prize. I don't know how I'm going to pick a winner. But my goodness, this is good. One of the best non-fictions I've read for a while. It really, really is. But now we have to pick the next book for me to read. And which one is it going to be? Oh, it's going to be this one because none of the others have arrived. So, this hasn't got my address on. How did it get here? It hasn't got my address on. That's terrifying. But let's see which one it is, shall we? Do you want to see the pull grab? Oh, I ordered the hardback copy. That was not meant to be. Right. We have Love from the Pink Palace, Memories of Love, Loss and Cabaret Through the AIDS Crisis by Jill Nalder. let's have a look what it's about. And that was pretty obvious, wasn't it? But we'll just read it to you. When Jill Nalder arrived at drama school in London in the early 1980s, she was ready for her life to begin. With her band of best friends, of which many were young, talented gay men with big dreams of their own, she grabbed London by the horns, partying with drag queens at the Royal Vauxhall Tavern, hosting cabarets at her glamorous flat, flitting across town to one gig to another. But soon rumours were spreading from America about a frightening illness being dubbed the gay flu, and Jill and her friends, spirited Juan Pablo, Jay with his beautiful voice, upbeat Dursley, and many others now found their formerly carefree existence under threat. In this moving memoir, It's a Sins, Jill Nalder tells the story of her life during the AIDS crisis and that of friends and colleagues, doctors and nurses, activists and fundraisers. She recounts juggling a busy West End career while campaigning for AIDS awareness and research, educating herself and caring for the sick. Most of all, she shines a light on those who were stigmatised and shamed and remembers those brave and beautiful boys who were lost too soon. Even that makes me want to cry. Oh no. Oh, it's got pictures as well. Well, it sounds good, doesn't it? It sounds like it's going to be moving. So, and I like the fact that, you know, she was immersed and she knew them. I read another book, maybe a little bit like this, and I wasn't a fan because but anyway, we're not here to do that. But I'll check up with you. Maybe I'll check up with you when I get to the picture point. That's like 140 pages in. So I've obviously got to go to work now. So if I can show you some bacon, I will. And then I'll see you soon. Okay, again, it's the next day. I know the lighting's terrible. We're entering winter and I have to do this at like 7:30 in the morning. So you just have to get used to it. You just have to get used to it, I think. But I said I would check in when I read 145 pages, got to the pictures, basically, in Love from the Pink Palace by Jill Nalder. Now, I have done that. And I'm really enjoying this. It's essentially about Jill, it's about, you get a little couple chapters of Jill's upbringing and how she wants to move to London and be an actress. And then it's basically her in London meeting all these people in her college and becoming friends with them, very much friends. And then Jill starts to notice these little sort of newspaper clippings and about AIDS, and sort of her friends ignore it, but she's very much sort of a staunch advocate of be careful, be careful, be careful. And then her friends start getting it. Now, none of her friends have died yet, but some are coming. It focuses on a couple of her friends, Jay, Juan, and Dursley, and Juan have got it. And it's very much about Dursley. Dursley's very much just, I just need to survive until they find a cure, which, as we all know, many men do not survive. And it's just really heartbreaking. There's pictures. I'm not looking at the pictures. I can't put a face to these people because I'll cry. It will make me so upset, so I'm not doing that. But I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this. Of course, it's very sad. It's sad knowing that she's going to lose these friends, that they're going to lose their life. It's sad that the kind of viciousness and the gay men that were getting this face, the horribleness, it's horrible to read. But it's also very filled with friendship, and that's really nice to read. You know, you can feel the friendship, the closeness coming off the page, and I love that. But I think I'll probably finish this tonight. He says, watch tomorrow. I won't have read anything. But I'm going to try and finish it tonight. So if I do, I don't know then. Well, none of the other two books haven't arrived. They still haven't arrived. So if I finish this, I'll have to start the whale tattoo. So we won't be doing fiction, starting with fiction, ending on fiction, will we? But we'll have to see. And I'm sorry about the lighting. I feel bad, but you also just need to know I'm not professional at this. If you want a professional, go watch someone else. This is just me sitting on my bedroom floor talking about books. That is literally it. So, but we'll figure it out. Time goes on. We'll figure it out. But I'm loving this. It's 3 out of 3 so far. This is such a good prize. The Polari prize is such a good prize. Get it on your radar, friends. Get it on your radar.
Good morning. It is Thursday morning and I finished Love from the Pink Palace by Jill Nowder. Now, I loved it. I still haven't looked at the pictures. Like I said, they'd make me cry and they still would. I haven't looked. But in the second half, basically, you just get, unfortunately, her friend starts to die of AIDS, which is horrible. But it is sad. It made me cry. But I think what really shines through is the love and the care that Jill had for everyone, essentially. And she just seems like such a nice woman. I want to give her a hug. Jill, if you're watching, I know you're not, but I'd give you a hug. You just seem lovely. And your love shined through. It just shined through. And I think it's a very sad read, like I said, but it's quite uplifting. So I just loved it. That really is 3 out of 3. Now, the next book, I haven't got it with me because, as you can see, I'm in my car. I'm sitting outside work. But it's going to be the poetry collection, which is The Rising of the Black Sheep, I think. I did sort of start the introduction last night, but, well, I read the introduction when I fell asleep. But, goodness, I really love The Pink Palace. I just think it really shines. Like, Jill helped upset West End Cares, which raised money for AIDS. She set out the hospital people. She just seems like a lovely woman. Jill, let's be friends. This has been such a good prize so far. Such a good prize. Like, it's free for free. I'm never going to be able to pick a winner. I don't know how judges can do it. I'm never going to be able to do it. Because I'm not a judge, am I? No, I'm not. But just glorious. So I'm excited. The other book still hasn't arrived. I have emailed them to be like, where's my book? But it hasn't arrived. So, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And I'm going to go to work now. Just, someone's coming. I've got to go. But I love reading, friends. I love reading. I love reading. I know you do too. That's why I'm here. So.
Good morning, friends. It is now Saturday, and I have a reading update for you. Now, I introduced this book like a tiny bit in the last clip tonight when I was in the car. And I have finished Rising of the Black Sheep. Now, this, I realised actually, I haven't even shown this to you yet. Here's the cover. It is a very, very beautiful cover. And I'll quickly read the back to you, and then we'll discuss it. Rising of the Black Sheep is a testament of resilience. As a queer black woman speaking on personal loss, queer identity, institutional racism, but also hope and joy, achievement, activism, and a future that is unapologetically black. In her debut poetry collection, Livia Kojo-Alor touchingly evokes her childhood memories, then takes us onto a journey of self-discovery, overcoming stereotypes, and finally moving into her power. And I have to say, friends, it does just that. Now, I know some poetry collections can be or sort of feel very abstract, but you don't get that in this. I feel like I really got to know her. I got the point of what she was trying to say. It's split into sections. So you have The Rise, you have queer identity, queer black love, and I really enjoyed them all. And am I going to be disappointed in this one won? No. And I know a poetry book has won this prize before, so it's a strong contender, right? They've all been strong contenders. I really don't know what to do. So, but I really loved it. It was so, I loved how she got her points across. I love how she told her story through her poetry. Like, it was just fascinating with the way you got to know her in this sort of different form. I loved it. So, and I'm just pleased it arrived because the other one still hasn't. Now, because the other one still has not arrived, I've emailed them and I have not heard back from them. We're having to go on to The Whale Tattoo by John Ransom. Now, not have to, but I was just going to finish, wasn't I, on a fiction. But I'm excited for this one. I already had this one before I started the prize. I bought it in Gaze the Word. Gaze the Word people really sold it to me. They said it was brilliant. So, I trust them, of course. So I said I wasn't going to read the back, but I'll just read like this tiny section here. And we will, if it gives it away, I'm sorry, but I don't see how it can. When a giant sperm whale washes up on a Norfolk beach, it tells Joe Gunner, a confused working class lad, that death will follow him wherever he goes. Joe knows that the place he needs to go is back home. Having stormed out 2 years ago, it won't be easy. Nor will returning to the river beside the house where words ripple beneath the surface, washing up all sorts of memories. It sounds very intriguing, doesn't it? So I'm excited. I need that other book to come though. But what should we do? How many pages is it? It's like 220 pages, so I will check in with you at the 100-page mark. Should we do that? Yeah, that's what we've been doing, isn't it? So let's hope I enjoy it. It's Monday afternoon, and I have now read 110 pages. And this is a really difficult one to explain. So we are following Joe, who has come back to his hometown after having run away 2 years ago. And there he has sort of rekindled his relationship with this man called Fish, F-Y-S-H. And they've sort of been having a sexual relationship since school. I would say they're very much in love with each other, but Fish has gone on to marry a woman and get her pregnant, although she's hiding. But Fish dies, and now his brother Doug is after Joe. He believes that he killed him, even though Fish died choking on his own vomit after being drunk. And everywhere Joe goes, death follows him, because this whale told him it was going to, and he water talks to him. I'm not sure what that bit's about yet. I'm not going to lie. I assume that's going to sort of be something different than actually what it is. But this is very gritty. It feels very... I think the author's really captured sort of the small town vibe. I think he's captured sort of that sort of very intimate love between these two really well, and what it's like to be queer in a small town and sort of just like getting what you can, essentially. It's really fascinating. I don't know where it's going to go. I'm very intrigued by it, but it certainly is like... It's very different to any of the other ones that we've read for this prize. It just feels very dark, I guess. It's just... Yeah, I just don't know where it's going to go. I'm halfway through already. It's immensely readable, and yeah, I'm really, really fascinated. I have no idea what's going to happen. Yeah, I don't know what to say really, because I'm just very almost confused by it a little bit, but we're going to carry on. We're going to finish it soon. That book has not shown up again today, so when I finish this, we are going to have to take a little break from this vlog until it arrives. But I don't know, I've got like 100 pages left. You know, this could take me either... I could be done by tonight, or be next week I'd finish it. We all know, so let's see what happens. I'm certain you're intrigued now, aren't you, how I'm going to feel about it, because I really sold it. Good morning. It's Wednesday morning, and I have finished The Whale Tattoo by John Ransom. Now, I'll hold it. I don't want to put it down. My arm's lazy. I'm lazy. That's why I put it down, because I am lazy. If you read the blurb of this book, not this blurb on the back, but the one inside, it will spoil it for you. It's sort of like a bit of a surprise, but if you read the book, it literally won't be. I hadn't read it, so I was like, oh, it shocked me, and it made a lot of sense. But I actually really enjoyed it. It's dark, it's gritty. You're reading a character at their lowest. They're at rock bottom, you know. It's a hard read at points. It's difficult to sum up. It's very sexual. It swears a lot. And this is coming from me. I swear a lot, okay? If you knew me in real life, friends, you'd know I've got a foul mouth, but this book beat me. And but I think it's a book that, like, I finished it today and I was still thinking about it at work. I think it gets under your skin. And like I said, it was like, I'm not going to tell you what really happened in the second half, because it will ruin it for you, but the plot point of Joe and Fish, you sort of think, oh, it's this grand, forbidden, sort of secret love, and then something happens, and it made me cry, like, just the way John wrote it. And Joe sort of gets a chance at sort of like a bit of a normal love, let's say. I won't spoil it, but he, like, a chance. And just the way it was written, and he was asked out for ice cream, and he's like, oh, no one's ever asked me out for. And it just made me cry. It just made me cry. That's it. That's what I was trying to say. But it's myself. I've come down a bit ill, friends. I'm a bit ill. So
But unfortunately, so, oh well, let's finish talking about this first before I start giving you all my sob story. I enjoyed it. It's another one. Am I going to be disappointed if it wins? No. This is probably really boring, but I like them all. I don't know what to do about that, really. Well done, John. Well done. So this vlog is having to take a bit of a break. It's not a big break for you. When I restart it, it's going to just come back. But the book still has not arrived. I've emailed them twice. Nothing. I haven't heard anything. I ordered it 3 weeks ago. So the next time I see you, I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know when the books are going to arrive. So we're just going to have to hope and pray that it arrives. And then it'll be the last one. I read 5 books quite quickly for me, and I'm very happy, and I've enjoyed them all, and the Polari prize is a great prize so far. So I will see you all when the last book arrives, which let's hope it's not too long, and they email me back soon. They email me back soon.
Friends, I'm back. I know for you it's been like that, but it's like 5 days later, 6 days later. A lot's changed. I've had a haircut. I got married. I got divorced. I'm joking. No one would marry me. But finally, the last book has arrived. So we have Edward Enninful's A Visible Man. Now, I don't know much about this. I don't know much about Edward himself, so I'm very, very excited to learn. I'm very excited to read this. And let's find out what it's about, shall we, before I carry on. Edward Enninful has lived an extraordinary life. Here, for the first time, he shares the inspiring story of his journey, beginning in a childhood bedroom in Ghana, overlooking firing squads, to arriving in 1990s London as an asylum seeker, to today settling the cultural agenda as the first black editor-in-chief of British Vogue. This is the story of how he did it. Taking us from neon thrills of Soho clubs to nights spent on friends' sofas, A Visible Man is the story of one man's revolutionary mission to change the world how we see it. It didn't say that bit, I made that up. It said it a different way. But I'm just excited. I'm not much of a fashion boy, so I'm excited to see if I can still sort of get into it in that aspect. But I will check in with you when, what should you say, 100 pages? Or should we up to the first pictures maybe? Let's see when the pictures. Oh, 78. No, we'll get to 100 pages, shall we? And I will check in with you when I'm halfway. Good morning, friends. It is now Monday morning, and you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe it, but I have read up to page 207 of A Visible Man. Now, I wanted to get it read because, I want to get this prize done, but I also couldn't put it down. I could not put this book down. There is something about this man. He just seems so kind and so genuine, and I think that really comes across, and I really enjoyed his story. It begins with him growing up in Ghana and how him and his family moved to the UK and were asylum seekers, and then how he got into fashion. And what I love about it is, I'm not a big fashion boy, as I said, but his love for fashion and his job comes through, and that just makes me smile reading about it. So, I thought I was going to struggle with that, and I really haven't. And it's also he, the bit I've read so far is very in the 90s and early, and that's Kate Moss, that's Naomi Campbell. They are supermodels, we all know. And he was friends with them, and now he's talking about Rihanna. Rihanna's cool. So, but I really, really loved it. He seems like such a genuine person, and it comes across. I love it. And he was talking about how he met his husband, and that was really sweet. And I can really feel the love. I've just loved it. Every book on this prize is so good. But so I'm going to get this finished today. I will get this finished today at some point, and I will maybe check out with you tomorrow, and we'll wrap this vlog up. And I have to try and pick a winner, but I'm really have to think about that because I don't know if it's going to be possible. Is it? I don't know. Good luck to the judges for picking a winner. I mean, my goodness. But just such another enjoyable book. I said, I can be a bit funny with non-fictions, but all of the non-fictions in this have been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, I can't wait to just see more about his story. How he was sort of one of the front runners of making the fashion world and Vogue more diverse, and it's just brilliant. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm loving his story, and he seems like such a nice man. Why is every non-fiction book I've read, I just want to hang out with them, and they don't want to hang out with me, and I don't blame them. But I'm looking forward to finishing this. It's Tuesday afternoon. I have just finished work, and last night I finished A Visible Man by Edward Enninful. Now, I loved it. I didn't expect to love it this much, but guys, I love fashion now. No, it is about fashion. It is about his work. But what really comes across, and I think, well, no matter what somebody's job is, if they're passionate about it and they're talking about it with passion, then you can just get into it. You can just listen to it. You can just, be enamored by them. And that's what happened here. He just speaks from the heart about his job. And like, he discusses the illness he gets in after what I read after I last spoke to you. And I just really enjoyed it. It was just his life and his dreams and how hard he worked for them. And I really, really enjoyed this book. And I really like the pictures too. Oprah's in it. I saw a picture of Oprah. So, and it's another knockout. It is another absolute knockout. But now that is all 6 books read. I'm really proud of myself. Like, I've always wanted to do one of these. I've seen other people do them, and I just thought this prize, the Polari prize, was just a great one for me to do, and I have loved it. I have absolutely loved it. Oh, do I need to pick a winner? I need to pick a winner. I don't know if I can pick a winner. I will say I'm not going to be disappointed if any of them win. I'm not going to be like, oh, can you believe that? But to pick a winner, let me grab them all, shall I, quickly? Okay, I'll give you a top 3. No, shall I? Oh, I don't know. Maybe The New Life, just because I didn't expect to love it as much. I would like to see that win. But also, none of the above I thought was really unlike anything I've read before in the balance it strikes for non-fiction. But this was also really, really moving. Love from the Pink Palace. But I also think The Whale Tattoo stands a chance. Well, that was literally not picking a winner, was it? That was just complimenting all of them. I'm going to leave it up to the judges. I feel a bit of a cop-out, but maybe The New Life. I'll go for The New Life. But I think any of them are very worthy winners. It's just been so much fun. I've just had so much fun doing this. So, I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope, it's been entertaining in some way. I hope that you're going to check out the prize. Remember, the website, Polari website, is linked down below. Let me know if you've read any of these. If you are going to check out the prize, let me know if you're going to read the winner. If you've read any of them, let me know if you agree. I've had so much fun doing this. I really, really have. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope, I want to do it again next year. I've already decided I'm going to do it again this year. So if no one watches, no, I don't know. Don't be like that, Jack. But thank you all so much for watching. Remember to check out the prize. Feel free to like and subscribe. And I'm going to speak to you all really, really soon.